Hey everyone. So this is kind of just like a little bit of a last minute video idea. If you don't know, I don't plan my content. I never really have. I honestly have never really had the desire to do so. I really just kind of like to live life on the edge apparently. But I just had like a little bit of an interaction in my Instagram stories. I just kind of shared a little bit of personal stuff over there that I am struggling a little bit, mainly just with the planning aspect the past couple of weeks. It's just been really busy. So my biggest thing that I shared over there is that I have struggled with not having my goals more accessible because I have not been accountable this quarter. So the first quarter of the year, I was really good about sharing my process on how I do everything. I was really good about sharing my annual goals, my breakdown, my 12-week year. I have fallen off like in a hard way. So this is the Moxie Life system. I've been in this planning system since it first launched, technically in 2019, but their first actual planner was 2020. And I like instantly fell in love with the system because it was a system that like my brain could wrap around because it helped me stay accountable literally on a weekly basis with these pages here. So this year I decided to kind of change things up because my word of the year is transcend, and I really wanted to just kind of get out of my comfort zone. I was really cozy in the system. I was kind of just doing maintenance goals, very few like heavy progress and stretch goals. And so I decided to do the 12-week year. The first 12 weeks went amazing. I don't have that book with me. I just have do I have my first 12 weeks in here? Or I know it was in my first companion book. And it went really, really well. So I have just not really referred to this very much this 12 weeks. And so I am just going to go ahead and kind of like highlight a couple of things as I see it. So I have my second 12 weeks from March 20th to June 12th, and I have not been accountable. Honestly, I think the reason I've not been accountable is because me making the videos for this channel has forced me to stay accountable, because I really enjoyed the process of sharing my vulnerability on what is working and most importantly, what doesn't work for me. Because I feel like the what doesn't work is really going to be the one thing that helps somebody, to give them kind of like the validation of, well, maybe I can do it a different way. So I am going to just kind of dive into this video and just talk about my process again a little bit. If you've been with me, then you kind of already know what I've been doing. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm so excited to have you. Feel free to check out any of my other videos, or, you know, just ask me any questions. Find me on Instagram if you wanted to have a private conversation, that's fine too. So when I kind of opened this up, this is essentially the first time I have opened this up and referred to this particular page since the very end of April, because I referred to it when I made my May goals. But honestly, I've just been like living my weeks essentially week to week. Like I have been making my actions. I've not been really great about reflecting, and this is this week right here. So this is the reflections and then the next week. But I have neglected to look at my 12-week list. So everything in theory that I have on this page is due on June 12th. I've created a deadline. So I've done really well with my personal. I have been slacking in my personal fun. So this is reading new to me authors and financial books, YouTube and Instagram twice a week. I've really struggled with that. Personal research is American Sign Language, a family trust. This is a whole thing, like my family trust. I am really struggling with this whole process because I like the person that we originally went with, but I really don't love the prices. And so I really just need to kind of put some effort into finding somebody else and getting essentially like a second opinion. Another thing for personal education was me to find a company to do our annual photo books for our family. We usually used to do them through Costco, like any big trips or major events, we would create like a family photo book. And I've never been a big fan of Shutterfly. And so I'm trying to find a company that just has really good reviews. If you guys have a company, you know, other than like Walgreens or something, can you please just please, please, please leave me something down below, because I need to find something. Health and wellness, honestly, like my movement has not been the greatest, but my diet has been really, really good. So we decided to cut out red meat. We've been doing chicken and fish and 2 vegetarian meals a week. And we've been overall really strict with that. And I just like physically feel better, even though my movement has not been where I want it to be. My mental health is honestly like probably one of the best places I've been in quite a while. I credit a lot of that to ClubMakse, the support group that I have over there, the people that I can lean on, my friends and community here. And honestly, like with my friends and my family and my community here local, like ClubMakse has changed my mindset to be able to ask for help without feeling the guilt. And I've asked for so much help this month of May that it's just like I could cry, like with my heart swelling with pride right now. My JMB journal is really, really wonderful. I love doing that on a daily basis. And the new Worthy that she is creating as well is very nice also. So financial, we are not struggling, but we are not hitting our goals. And so that definitely needs to be adjusted. And then again, this photo printing goes back to finding a book company. And then my garden, I did. We have not started a compost yet. And I'm not sure if this is really going to be like the year. But okay. So those are my 12-week goals. And in May, let's go ahead and check some of these off. So I have scheduled my mammogram. I've gone into therapy. I'm getting my hair cut today. My weekly actions and reflections I have done, I think all except for 1 week. Okay. So we're going to check all of those off. 3 books. I'd have to look back at my log. I can't remember if I've done 3 books. Where's my little book tab here? Apparently I haven't done any in May, or I just haven't logged them. So I'll have to kind of go back through my app. So we did Alana's party, Gather Papers for Trust, Struggle Bus. We're really having a hard time with that. Fish and chicken, no red meat. I've done really, really well with that. It says 5 vegetables a day, 5 days a week. I have not hit it every single week, but more often than not, I definitely have. I have not done any weight training, so we're going to scratch that one off. Walking and hiking 3 times a week for 4 weeks. I haven't done as much as I wanted to, and not more often than not, so I'm going to delete that one as well. Or not delete it, but just like not check it off. I did do the May training for ClubMakse. I did the meditation for ClubMakse, and then I need to watch the replay for this one. The Q&A, they just had that one this week. Expenses in May. Oh, it's been a hard one. This one, again, we're not going to do right now because I think I need to find somebody else. And then weekly bedding. I did not do it this week, but I did do it these 2 weeks. Bathrooms, I did do every week. Dusting, I did not at all. Mowing, we have done every week. And then floors, I do multiple times a week. Plant garden, I did. Compost, like I said, not so much. I did my air filter. I finally changed my air filter. It's been like 2 months for like overdue. Okay, so that is my May. So here's where I think I've been struggling this particular quarter. So this quarter has been really busy because school is getting out. Work has been kind of just like a lot more than normal because I am transitioning a lot of the people that I coach and work with to other employees. I am not going to be working in site for the summer. I'm going to be doing a lot of remote work in the back end of our coaching program. And so I am just overloaded, I guess, is what we should say. So I think that that's part of the reason that I have not been consistent with coming back to this every single week. I was in the process of writing out my weekly actions after my reflections. And in my reflections, I was like, okay, Sierra, I know that we've been friends for a long time. And I know that I've been in your system since like day one. And I know that you preach over and over, not preach, that's not the right word, sorry. I know that you highly, strongly suggest over and over that your goals are in your planner. And that is the reason that she came out with these notebooks, is because she was like, well, even if you're in a different planner, this notebook is tiny and thin enough. You can just slip it in the back pocket and your goals are always with you. Your goals should be integrated into your planning system, because if they're separate, you're not gonna look at them. Guess what, y'all? I'm not looking at them. So what I'm doing is, so part of the reason that I went on Instagram is to just, a lot of times when I process things, I like verbally have to say everything and like how I'm processing it, and not even necessarily asking for advice, just like verbally processing and just saying what I'm experiencing and what I'm doing, what I'm thinking about doing, is sometimes like that kind of light bulb moment for me. Okay. So this is what we're doing. We're doing this, okay? I have been in this since essentially the very, very beginning of the year, and this is like my baby. It's got all of the things. I've got all of my trackers. I've got all of my information. I've got all my addresses. I've got like my garden planning. I've got my joys list, my spring break and summer bucket list. I have, you know, all of my trackers, my running list, my auto maintenance, home repairs, food inventory, like everything. Everything is in here, including like all of my planning, my journaling, my task list, you know, like absolutely everything is in here. And I'm telling y'all, I hit a wall in May. So in May, so April, this was like my baby. I loved this whole system because I had a day per page. And I loved being able to have like a space where I could just write anything and everything. And then by the end of April, I was like, y'all, I'm tired. I think that instead of me doing a day per page, I am going to consolidate and do something a little bit different, because especially like these days where I'm like, oh, it's just a bunch of empty space. Y'all, there's nothing wrong with empty space. I decided in May that I was going to change it up, and I'm not sure what I think about it yet. So this was definitely my favorite layout in May because it gave me the freedom of having a day per page where I was able to just stay in this one area. Okay, so like I could literally open this and I'd be like, okay, this is exactly what my week looks like. I'm never going to not have my task list. I'm never not going to have my habits. I'm never not going to have my task list. I will just stay in this little zone and do everything that I need to do. And then I tried a vertical the next week and did not enjoy it by any means. The columns for me personally were too narrow because I have a tendency to write like a little bit more than probably most people for their listed items. And I just didn't really love it. I also think that the pen that I used was just too thick and too dark. I used a 0.4 instead of my 0.3. That's my 0.5. 0.5 is for my Moxie Life instead of my 0.3. And I just, you know, I didn't love it. And so then this was this week. I was like, well, I'm just going to go and do something totally different because I did a horizontal over here. Y'all, I'm getting off track for the reason I started this video. But where's my horizontal week? So I did the vertical take a note type week, and I really enjoyed that. And then I decided I was going to try and do it horizontally. So I had my weekly stuff here and then horizontal days. And it was okay. Decided I was going to try it again and like instantly decided I don't like it. A, I didn't like the stamps that I used. B, I did not have like time to outline my page or even put in all of my stuff. And so this week I actually jumped into a system that a friend sent me. I jumped into the HP mini size disc bound planner, and this is where I lived all week, and I really enjoyed it. The paper is a little bit smaller It forced me to just focus on what I needed to do. But again, my weekly actions were not in here. I did not have any of my goals. And so I just felt really disconnected. But I got my tasks done, you know, so I could add my goals over here. I could try and go to the Moxie Life freebie library and shrink that page and print it out and punch it. But I don't have a punch because I just got this system, and shove it in here too. So I had a lot of options, but I'm like, you know what? I just need to stick with this notebook right now because I don't want to recreate my wheel. I don't want to recreate everything, my monthlies, my trackers. I don't want to have to do that right now. So this is going to be a high contender in 2024 unless a bunch of people do what they did last year and throw the wrench in all of the planner community and come out with like a billion amazing things, which I'm already seeing a billion amazing things. So what I decided to do this week is, instead of trying to tote around this notebook and one of these notebooks, I just drew my weekly actions in here. I basically went through and recreated the weekly actions page, okay? So if you have the Sterling Ink notebook, these are your dimensions. Your dots that you have, divide your page evenly. And then these are 44 squares here. And then there's 4 categories. So it's basically 11 squares per category. So this is the first one. And then I counted 11, highlighted the 11th, counted 11, highlighted the 11th. And so I recreated this. And you guys, I haven't even set my weekly actions yet this week, but check this out. So if you write small, you already know that this notebook is going to work. If you write big, then absolutely this is going to work for you. But look, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces here. And then I have 10 here. So if you write small and you do a lot in a week, this is going to be a really good system for keeping track of everything. But if you just need like a quick, like, I just need to do laundry this week, or any minimal, and you can still do that over here too, any minimal type of stuff, it is probably going to be easier for you to have the notebooks. But for me, just because the spaces are bigger, for me personally, I just really need accountability right now, and I just need my goals in the same area that I am planning. And so what I'm going to do is, I should have actually created this over here. And so I could essentially put it into this system long term, but that's okay. So the reason I should have created it over here is because this should have been my reflections for this week, and then my actions for next week. And this is, I'm doing the same layout again for this week. And then I'm going to have my reflections, my actions, and then a week on 2 pages instead of my daily pages, even though I loved my daily pages. But I think I just need to minimalize my system right now. And I think this is just what's going to work for me. And so I was in the process of doing my actions. I am going to kind of think about these for a little bit this week, because I really want to be intentional and do like being goals and not doing goals. Like I want to be present in my actions instead of just adding a bunch of stuff to my list, because I know I need to get it done, which is not wrong either. But I want to just be more intentional and be more present in the being, not the doing. This is also the week that my kids get out of school. And so I am taking Thursday off because they have a half day. And this is essentially like my last day on site for work. And so I decided that I was going to do a self-care Thursday, but I don't even know what I want to do. I'm not even sure I want to plan that. So I just wrote underneath it is, what do I need? Like, I know that I'm going to go into the summer and I'm going to have essentially 3 months as a full-time parent again, trying to work remotely from home to continue to support the people that I am coaching and training at work. What do I need that day for that half of a day before they get out of school? Like, what do I need to fill my cup before I go into like busyness? So I'll just give you a peek at busyness. I had to literally pencil things in for June. This is June. I have swim team, football, soccer. I have tutoring. I have MMA camp. I have a science camp. We're going on a vacation. Like, it's going to be bananas June, okay? And so I really wanted to just be able to just write something simple of what do I need that one day to fill my cup to really get ready for June. It could look anything like a walk or playing in my garden, playing in my planners. Maybe that day is going to be the day that I like put pen to paper and actually plan out my June to get all of that stuff like out of my brain and out of my heart and just put it on paper, and I know exactly what to expect for June. I don't know what I'm going to need that day. So this week, the actions are going to look a little bit different just because we're essentially having like a little bit of a half week, but that's okay. So I realize now this is, what is this now? A 20-minute video. I'm honestly probably not going to really edit too much of this because I just really want it to be real and raw and have everybody out there just kind of understand that it is okay to struggle. It is okay to have that desire to want to switch systems and like get new pretty things and just want to be in those. And it's okay to just not even use a system at all and just use sticky notes if you want, whatever works, you know? And so I am just going to see if this is going to work for me. I'm going to finish this for the next couple of weeks, and then this might actually be what is going to work for me for the summer, because I'm not going to have as much personal time this summer. So I think a week on 2 pages and then having all of my actions in here is just really going to be what is going to work for me. And so I'm also going to need something, because as you saw my June, we're going to be out and about quite a bit. I need something that is portable, that is easy for me to carry, that is super minimal, and I can just have this in my bag, and this is my entire life. This is where everything is. And so that is my very long video of how I'm like integrating my goals into my bullet journal. So hopefully it was helpful, and hopefully it is going to help somebody out there that is kind of struggling and in the same boat as me with just not having, you know, everything in one place as well. So if you have any questions, definitely feel free to drop them down below. And I appreciate you watching and letting me verbally process my thoughts and everything. And essentially when I verbally process things, it kind of gives me the validation that I need to just do what I want. So that is what this video was all about. So thank you again for your support, and I appreciate you. Have a great day.